Hello.
Alors, Andrea, just a few words maybe about you before you start. So you're an entrepreneur and with some key first experiences, I would say, in the food and beverage business. First with Big Group, with Nestlé, and also as a restaurant owner. So you know really the food business from the inside. And you have a dream with the company that you created, Foodetective, and your dream is to become the infrastructure and intelligent operating system of the F&B industry. So we will travel with you alongside your dream, and then you will be partnering tonight with Detlef. So Detlef, you are a marketing and sales director at Nestlé Waters Switzerland. And of course, you are very skilled and a high expert in FMCG, food and beverage, with various responsibilities in marketing and sales. And you are now in charge of the Swiss market for Nestlé Waters. And actually, you're fierce and known as a fierce proponent and actor in the protection of the local environment and workplace. So thank you very much. And let's see actually with both of you if David could, for once, collaborate with Goliath. Thank you. Floor is yours.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Perfect, thanks. Thanks for having me, HL, Swiss Who's Who. It's a pleasure to be here alongside Detlef. Before we start, maybe I'm just going to give you a quick intro to what we do at Foodetective, so you have a better understanding of actually how we solve the problem that we solve, and we'll be speaking about in a minute. So at Foodetective, like Séverine said, we're building an infrastructure. We're building a tech stack for the restaurant industry and for any kind of F&B business, actually. So the problem we solve, the main one is the fact that businesses today have too many systems, too many apps, too many tablets. And what we do is that we centralize, so we build a base to centralize all these tools into a single and unique platform, an API. By doing this, we're able to do a lot of things down the path, such as aggregating all the orders, aggregating all the bookings in a way that we provide restaurants with intelligent notification, we support them in their daily operation, we remove some tablets, and so on. And the goal of Foodetective ultimately is to become the intelligence of the restaurant industry, to actually support this business on a daily basis by providing them with intelligent notifications. And I hope it was clear, and I think we can now jump into the discussion.
You still have time if you want, huh?
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay? Okay, good. Thank you very much, Andrea. So, yeah, Detlef, do you have questions
Does
for
it work?
Andrea? Yes.
So thank you, Andrea. So yes, I discovered also that platform basically through the exchanges we had together. And it's an interesting platform because it's a very large platform and it's very relevant then also to restaurants in their business because they need orders and they need logistics, and that's really a very important topic for them. But my question to you is, Andrea, that's a huge platform. It's a lot of data you need to handle. So how do you, as the topic is about carbon footprint, how do you manage here to have that positive impact on your carbon footprint?
So what we do to have this positive impact is that it is on various verticals. And the first one I would say that is, I don't know if you ever saw the delivery problem, but for example, restaurants today have maybe 7 to 8 tablets that they have to manage all their POS payments, printers, delivery, and so on. By removing the delivery, we remove the heat that is caused by the platforms, the energy that is going out. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. For example, on the delivery today, we use a dispatch tool that prioritizes bikes over scooters, that prioritizes electric cars over, how do you call it, normal cars. And this way, we can have a direct impact on the choice that is made by the platform to reduce this carbon footprint. And this is, again, just a little thing we do, because we can go deeper and say we remove, let's say, the food waste by providing restaurants with inventory management, so they don't lose it. We centralize the orders from suppliers like you in order to bring the food at a specific point in time, so you don't have to go 10 times with a massive truck in front of a restaurant. And all of these little action we take and we make have then this impact to remove, or at least have a good impact on CO2 emissions. Did I answer your question?
That was very good, thank you.
Now, my question is to you, is maybe you can tell us a bit what you do at Nestlé to solve also this problem, knowing that you are not a startup anymore. That
not really.
And that you have basically these huge operations which leads automatically to be in the spotlight when something happens. But I'm sure you do some wonderful things, and maybe it's time to tell us what you do.
Yes, of course, thank you. The question is very fair and very justified, of course, that's why I'm here. So basically the topic is about CO2 emissions. And I will tell you for that a story which is a very, very local story, and which is basically a story of a mineral water brand which is called Henje. You have it all basically in front of you, so thank you for that. That spring is at 20 kilometers from here. So you just go down the route to Bern, 20 kilometers, and then you're there. And 14 years ago, Nestlé Waters, we started their nature protection program basically, which is called EcoBrois. And that nature protection program takes place basically on a territory of 120 hectares around the spring. And we've started basically working there around a lot of initiatives with one major objective, which is we basically want to guarantee the quality of the water. And when you want to guarantee quality of water, then you need to guarantee quality of the soil. It's basically as easy as that, okay? So over the years, we then realized that here in that region, which is the Bra, which is really down the road, you have to go there, that there's a lot of interest in protecting the soil and also protecting groundwater. For one particular reason, it is a zone of intensive farming. And when you talk about intensive farming, then automatically you operate with pesticides, you operate with how is it called, de l'engrais. So and there's exactly and there's a lot of cows. So we already had that example of cows today. Okay, so we were looking basically for a new solution to have more impact. Okay, and then what we did is we came up with an idea, which was a biogas plant. So we built, not we, Nestlé Waters, because we cannot do that, but we had a third party that constructed a biogas plant just beside the Henje factory. And that biogas plant is operating with two ingredients, which are quite simple. We basically take the coffee ground of recycled Nespresso capsules and integrate it in that plant. And secondly, and now it will be a bit vulgar, so I'm sorry for that, 70 farmers in the region bring us their cow shit. Okay? And we also put that in that biogas plant. So we mix that up and create green or renewable energy, which is perfectly natural, okay? So that there's nothing nuclear, nothing, that simply is very, very much natural and very green. So basically what we try to do here is to create a circular solution where we wanted to integrate also communities from outside our territory, which are the farmers, which is then a third party that has invested on our ground. Okay, so that was basically it. And when you look a bit at the film that is shown on the internet, on the live webcast, then you see, so we really had a massive reduction of 3,000 tons of CO2 with that project and all the others accumulated over the last years, which is really great. And now coming back to you in terms of CO2 emissions, Well, basically, that's an interesting platform for us because it's very local. And it touches logistics. And in the beverage business, logistics is a very sensitive topic. Okay, so that needs to be under control, and you have to work on that. So the data you have and what you can deliver, you can always, and you said, you go either on a normal car or on a green car, okay? You can also suggest having wholesalers that are very close or wholesalers that are very far. You can prioritize them with your platform, basically. And this is exactly what we also are looking for. And that's why we operate here on a local level very much, even if we operate with national brands, of course. But this is also, in terms of logistics, something which is very important for us, that we can then also have synergies here with a platform like you have established. Okay.
Thank you. So nice collaboration ahead then.
Oh, yes, yes.
Good, good. I don't know if you have any more questions to each other or it's okay? Okay, good. So, but perfect. You're perfect in timing. So let's move to the public questions. Alors, we have... Detlef, sorry, the first one is for you. What is the future of bottled water and PET?
Yes, well, it's not a new question, you know.
No.
I got that question quite often. So today there is still a relatively high demand on the market for PET in general. Let's be very honest. The PET market is not declining. If it's then in waters or soft drinks or in other beverages, PET is growing in that market, okay? We have to be clear with that. What is more important, and this is when it comes really to how do we operate with this ingredient. Basically, PET, it is very much, a lot of people think it's very nasty, and I'm not here to advertise anything, but it's an ingredient you can recycle and reuse quite often. Not eternally, it's not like aluminium, but you can use it very, very, very often. So PET is present, and what we do here in Switzerland, and this is really where we see that we live in a very, very sophisticated culture here when it comes to recycling and environmental also attitude. So what happens is, in Switzerland, 9 out of 10 bottles are recycled without any deposit. 82% go back in the circuit, so in the circle through PET Recycling Switzerland, and we integrate then this recycled PET in our bottles. So today, at Henny, for example, we operate with 82% of recycled PET. So out of 100 bottles, 82, if you want an average, are from recycled PET. And this is basically the circuit where we go further. Then, second, in terms of bottled water. Bottled water at that moment is a bit sinking in terms of category growth here in that market. It's not a secret. You can see that on AC Nielsen and on other sources. So it's not an issue. But however, we need to transform basically our business. So we work on other solutions today where we basically, over a 20-year scope, try to get more and more in other businesses which are more environmental friendly. And I'm not able, unfortunately, to talk in details about that today. So.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Detlef. Andrea, with your Foodetective actually platform, of course, obviously you're using a lot of data. And of course, you have a huge technical infrastructure. We all know that those installations actually consume a lot of energy. How actually do you compensate? What's your global footprint, I would say, for your company?
So I think that today, even though we operate kind of across Europe, I would say, we're still at a very, very small scale. So.
Okay.
Searching on Google consume more than most probably what we do. And one thing that we can do, I think it can be a solution, it is to compensate by doing all these things that we do our best to do at Foodetective and having actually a calculation. So showing people who want to know how much we consume in our data centers, and how much we reduce by having these little action across all the verticals that we have, and give a result. And ultimately, the result will be bigger because this is an indirect aspect, and we have a lot of direct aspects that we treat at Foodetective.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Detlef, how to reduce emissions and societal reduce emissions. Okay, how to reduce emissions and societals on countries depend on bottled water, not Switzerland. Okay, so maybe it means that. Okay, let's move to another one. I'm sorry, not so clear with that. When do you think bottles will be fully environmentally neutral?
Well, at the end, you always have an environmental impact. You know, we transport, of course. Then of course we can work on RPT. We can work more on train than on trucks, etc. So we work on all that stuff. Yes, of course there are possibility, but you will always have an environmental impact. You cannot avoid that 100%.
Do you think, for example, coffee is less environmental friendly, drinking coffee than water? How? Yeah, tell us maybe how many, I don't know, liters of water do you need for 1 liter of coffee?
I give you a simple example. You know, it's basically not to finger point or whatever. In the waters industry, to produce 1 liter of water, we need 2 liters.
Okay.
Okay.
Coffee?
What do you think? How many liters of water you need to produce 1 liter of coffee?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's a good question. You find it on the internet. I will talk about that if you want when we go for the dinner.
A lot. A lot.
How much they want to know now?
Yeah. 800, 2,000.
Time is run out, so
Okay. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much to both of you, okay, for your sharing, and round of applause for you.